I'll get on calls with people thinking about med device sales that are like, I think I might try this. Or if you're in medical device sales, hey, I think I'm going to try this tactic. But then what happens is you go back and forth and you'll be like, oh, I'll do it when this happens. And then that never happens. And then you're like, oh, I'm going back. And what happens is over 1 month, 2 months, 4 months, 8 months, you go in and out, or you actually never fully commit. All it's doing is actually taking brain power up here. But what I always tell people is, welcome back to First Year in Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin. And today, my friends, we are coming to you with an episode that is hopefully going to help change all of your lives, whether you're trying to break into medical device sales, whether you're in medical device sales. And I want to bring some value. And the best part is this is going to be a quick one. So I don't want to take too much of your time. But the reason I'm making today's podcast is because, I get the opportunity to talk to so many individuals every single week, month, year. And the thing that I always have the conversation is with us going into 2025 and starting the new year, what's the difference between people who are successful and the people who are not successful, right? And it's pretty easy. I've made podcasts about this before, but being able to help people break into medical device sales, I can tell you with a lot of the people that want to get into it, they're always scared, right? There's always that step. Now, if you're in medical device sales, you're wanting to actually stand out, make a name for yourself, actually be successful. And so I want to help you all, whether you're trying to break into medical device sales, whether you're already in medical device sales, because this is going to be the biggest difference in your life, not only from a career standpoint, but also just having success. And the conversation I've had with so many individuals over the last 12 months is the number one thing that I see in successful individuals is taking action. The number one thing I always hear is it's not the right time, or I'm waiting for this. But the thing about top performers is they don't wait for the perfect time because they understand there is never the perfect time. They understand when they commit that something else is going to come up. They understand that they're going to go through life, right? I always make a joke that it's God or the universe or whatever you want to think about actually testing you to see if you're actually committing to what you want to. But the reason I'm sitting here telling you guys is I get on calls with people that are indecisive. And the reason I'm telling you this and want to help you is the indecisiveness is what's keeping you stuck and not having success in your career, in breaking into med device sales, and actually progressing in med device sales. Because what too many people do is they have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And let me just help you because I get on calls with people all the time. I'll get on calls with people thinking about med device sales that are like, I think I might try this. Or if you're in medical device sales, hey, I think I'm going to try this tactic. But then what happens is you go back and forth and you'll be like, oh, I'll do it when this happens. And then that never happens. And then you're like, oh, I'm going back. And what happens is over 1 month, 2 months, 4 months, 8 months, you go in and out, or you actually never fully commit. All it's doing is actually taking brain power up here. But what I always tell people is you are better off just fully committing, whether you do it or you don't do it. But instead of being like, I'm going to try this, no, I'm not going to try this, I'm going to try it, no, I ain't. That's what's keeping you stuck compared to, hey, let's just say you want to break into medical device sales. What if you just went all in for 2 or 3 months and just gave everything you got? And let's just say, you actually went and worked with somebody who knows what they're doing, because many of you guys will go hard for 2 months and it's like hitting your head against the wall because you don't know what you're doing. I digress. The whole conversation is, what if you actually committed, and then at least at the end of the 2 or 3 or 4 months or whatever it was, you could actually just say, I tried it, it didn't work, I can cut that out, now let's go to the new thing. Now, the one thing I'll just sit here and tell you, you can break in. If you're not getting in, you're just not doing the right things. But the reason I'm sitting here telling you is I get on calls with people that are on the fence all the time. Well, I want to do this, but I'm emotional and I'm thinking about what ifs and all this stuff. And that's what's keeping you stuck. And that's what honestly is keeping you poor. It's all the in and out instead of fully committing. Because again, when I broke into medical device sales, I tell people I didn't care if it took me 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. I was going to break into medical device sales. I fully committed, went all in. And that's why I knew I was going to break in. No different if you're a rep inside the industry. Well, I've been thinking about going to this account. Oh, I've been thinking about doing a lunch here. Oh, I've been thinking, we all know what I'm talking about. You all have this in your life, but what is keeping you stuck in your current position, in your current rut of life, is the indecisiveness to finally just fully commit to say, I'm all in on this plan. And just because I do it and it doesn't work out right away, AKA the first week or day, because many people want instant gratification, just because it doesn't work out doesn't mean I'm going to give up on the plan, because many times you're going to have to do it for several weeks, months to actually be successful with it. So the reason I'm telling you all this is to make a decision, to fully commit and to go with it, because everyone will be like, Jacob, I've been trying for 6 to 8 to 10 months to break into medical device sales. And I'm like, great. Have you gone all in? Have you sent this many messages? Have you done this? And they're every single time. Well, no. I'm like, well, of course you haven't got into med device sales, right? I think of a story Alex Hormozi speaks about. I think he's great. If you guys haven't listened to him, go listen to him. He listened to a mentor. A mentor says, hey, we go test with flyers. And so then he went and put flyers out. He put out 300 and then he got 0 calls afterwards. And then he sat there and complained and saw the mentor, felt bad for himself. And he's like, did the flyers work? And Alex was like, no, I literally got 1 call and it was them saying I scratched their car. So it didn't work. And then he's like, well, what was your test size? And he was like, well, I gave 300 flyers out. And he's like, 300 flyers? Well, how would you know if any of that works? He's like, we test with 5,000. And then after testing with 5,000 for like 30 days, then they go hand out even more and they know that's what they're going to actually go use. And so what I'm sitting here telling you guys, that's the same people that are like, I want to break into medical device sales, but I send out 3 messages a week and don't understand why I'm not breaking into medical device sales. That's the reps that are in here being like, I stop at 1 account a week or 1 account a day. And I just don't understand it, because I'll tell you why. You guys are stopping at 1 account a week. I was stopping at 7 accounts a day, on top of all the surgeries and all the stuff. Now, again, not every day can you do that, because I had to be in surgeries. I had to run the territory. Being 1 foot in and being 1 foot out is what's keeping you stuck. And I don't want that for you in 2025 anymore. Whether you decide to just not do it and be like, or to do it, you just need to fully commit to whatever, because otherwise I'll sit here and tell you what happens for most people is they play it up here for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 8 months. Then they get frustrated with themselves. And what's actually happening is all you're just doing is taking space up here that could actually be directed on what you want to go after and achieve. Right? The reason I just say that is we've been like struggling with like the DMV, doing some stuff on, I gave my mom my car and going through all this stuff. And I literally talked with Eric, my videographer, and I was like, I literally would give someone the $1,000 to just have this all go away. Not because I can always go make more money, but it's because of the mental of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? It's the same thing that you are all doing. I think I want to break into medical device sales, but I don't know if I want to do this, but I think I want to go. And then a week went by and 2 weeks went by and 6 weeks went by. And if you just fully committed and tried it, you would actually know by now. It's the same thing with the person in the industry right now in medical device sales. You're like, I think if I did this, or if I tried that, or I think this idea, and you never do it. And then all you're doing is wasting space in your brain and wasting time when you could actually just commit to it. And guess what? Thinking about you've just tried for the last 2, 3, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, you would have actually figured out in the next hour. You would have actually figured out in the next 7 days. And now you would never worry about it because you did it, you tried it, and you actually can move on. And this is what I want to tell you all, because in business, I love this, but they talked about what most people are doing is they're trying to wait for the perfect time to do every single thing. And what all the fast movers do is they're like, by the time somebody starts, I've already failed 6 times and worked out that what they're trying to do doesn't work. And I've already failed 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So that's why they'll never catch me, because by the time they're too worried to fail, I'm already 6, 7, 8 steps ahead of them because I failed, learned from it, made the change, moved on. Bam, bam, bam. And that's why I'm sitting here telling you, stop being indecisive. Fully commit, go do it. Maybe get the outcome you want, maybe you don't, but then you can stop thinking about going back in and out, because I'm sitting here telling you anything in life, whether it's entrepreneurship, it's business, it's sales, it's just life. It will never be the right time. Once you fully commit, you're going to get punched in the face to see if you actually want that thing. You will actually have something in your life happen and you'll be like, do I actually want this? Because the universe is going to see if I actually do. Right? I think about Steve Harvey's quote all the time. You're going to jump and you're going to throw your parachute and the first one's not going to open. But that second one that you throw right before you hit the ground, there it goes. Everybody wants to win and do it all the way, and they feel like I should only feel good the whole time. But just understand, when you're winning, the true people that are actually winning feel like they're losing every day. I remember seeing one quote to kind of end with you guys all is Alex Hormozi. He's like, are you frustrated, feel like you're behind, making a bunch of mistakes, feeling like you're not where you should be at? Welcome to entrepreneurship, and you're right where you should be. That's the cost of it. That's the cost of doing that. And then again, that's not the perfect quote, but the reason I'm sitting here telling you guys this is you have to understand it's never the right time. It's never going to feel perfect. It's never going to feel like you're absolutely winning because again, most winners lose. They lose every day, get better from those losses to then allow them to win overall. Compared to what most people are doing is trying to not lose at all and just try to show one big win. But again, that's not going to happen because they talk about, like, let's talk about a podcast. My first time I did a podcast, it wasn't like this. But if I was trying to just do the perfect one, it's not going to work compared to if I film 1,000 podcasts. Guess what? Now I can just say, hey, Eric, press record. Let's go give some knowledge to people and rock it because I've had all the failures up to this point to make sure that I can be really good for the fact that I fully committed and said, this is what we're doing. So my friends, in 2025, whether you're trying to break into medical device sales or you want to be successful in medical device sales, don't be indecisive. Fully commit, either be all in or all out so you can stop wasting your time and stop being one of these wishy-washy people that never get results. So even if you decide not to do something, then you can finally go put all of your energy into another thing. If you do that, you're going to see a big change in your life in 2025. If you think this is helpful, press that like and subscribe button, send it to somebody. I just want you all to know, I want you to win, whether it's in medical device sales, whether it's in life. I just want you to be successful. I want you to grow. I want you to be the best version of you. And I can't wait to see you guys continue to go break into medical device sales and crush it in medical device sales. Go hit quota. See you on the next one. Peace.